Yo, what's good guys? KosherTech here. So today we are going to review a brand new case from Corsair. This is their ICUE 465X. Now, we are going to compare it to the 275R case on your right hand side. Now, this is the airflow edition. As you can see, it has cutouts, better for airflow. Now, I'm going to break down, it's going to be a pretty in-depth video. We're going to break down, now it does retail, the 465X does retail for $160, which is absolutely insane. $158 for the white and like $154 for the black. And the 275R does retail, the airflow edition retails for $80. The non-airflow edition retails for $70. So that's a huge, huge difference. But ultimately, in my opinion, these two cases are identical. There are very slight differences for the price range. Now for the airflow, for the 465X, what do you get? You get 3 LL fans as well that already come in the front, as you guys can see. And you get a hub in the back for the RGBs. I'm going to show you guys when we're going to turn the case. Now if you take the 3LL, now the 3LLs do cost $100 standalone. Standalone, they cost $100. That's why essentially they increase the price of the case to basically list it for that amount. But again, is it worth it? We are gonna find out. So in the front, ultimately, we get 3 LL fans. Now it does look pretty. All right, we could also throw some Chinese fans on here and make it also look pretty and save a buttload of cash. All right, here we just get an ugly, absolute ugly plus plastic shroud with like a 3-year-old just like putting lines on it. Again, that's just my opinion. It does look pretty ugly though. But anyways, here it looks absolutely beautiful, tempered glass. Now we get tempered glass here, 275R, and the 465X we get tempered glass as well. Now this is a slight tint, which actually looks really, really nice. Now I still have the plastic on here as well, so I will remove that later. Now this is a nice tint. This unfortunately is clear. I am feeling the tint. We get tint on the side and tint in the front. So that's basically it. Now then on the top we have a power switch. We have 2 USB Types 3s. We have headphone and we have reset. I do have a little dust filter. I just put it aside, but we have a dust filter here, but exposed. You get two, you could fit two 120s or two 140s. You could fit a rad up to 280 and a 240. I'm gonna show you guys that one we're gonna build in it, but basically same thing here. Let's bring it here. We get a power button. All right, we get headphone mic. We get 2 USB Type 3s. We get a reset switch. Same thing up top. 280, 240, 140s and 120 fans up top there as well. So from that standpoint, these cases look exactly identical. Now what I want to do is I want to take the front shroud off from here, and I want to take the front tempered glass out from here so we could dig deeper in the case. Now here we have thumb screws and we have thumb screws. Now you guys remember I did make a video of the 275R when they first released it, when Corsair went absolutely full bananas of putting stupid Allen key screws here, expecting people to use Allen key. But thank God, they heard feedback and they figured out they effed up and they switched it to thumb screws, which it should be. But both cases do have thumb screws. Exact same thumb screws, exact same glass, except one is tinted and one is not. But anyways, let's take the front out. So we got both of the cases looking absolutely naked. All right, we got the fronts off. Now let's go into detail. Now here, straight off the bat, you guys can see we have a white dust filter compared to a black dust filter. All right, I'm gonna pop this out. It's a little smoky, it's a little black. That one is basically full out white. All right, just basically a white dust filter. Subjective here with these X's on it just to make it look, I guess, I don't know what the hell were they thinking. But anyways, tempered glass. So this is the 465X with the tempered glass. We took it off. Very simple to take off. We have these thumb screws, these extra long thumb screws. You basically screw it in and screw it off. Very simple to pop off. But anyways, my beef with this design that I chose, like this excess plastic, I do not understand this. Like, why does this have to be here? Because the glass is essentially attached to this plastic. It looks absolutely ugly, in my opinion. Now again, this is the aesthetic appeal of the case. It looks absolutely ugly because what they could have done is just got rid of this plastic and just have the glass on the screws. All right, just have the glass on the screws. It will look absolutely nice, but this design of what they went with, these little towers here, these pyramids, whatever the hell you want to call them, looks absolutely ugly. Now next we have the 275R. Now, as I said, this is just a plastic shroud, very cheap, very flimsy design. Like I said, a 3-year-old basically just slapped some paint on it or just drew on it, and voila, you know, there you go for your increased airflow. All right, anyways, we take the dust filter out. What do we get inside of the 275R? Now we have 2 fans, all right, both 120 fans that basically come with the case. Here, as I mentioned earlier, we have 3 LL fans. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. Looks beautiful. And yeah, I mean, the fans here look, you know, you throw some Chinese fans in there, you go. But anyways, the front looks identical. Like I said, identical cases. Identical cases. But all right, let's turn it aside and let's pop those out. Let's go. All right, guys, so the side panels are off. Now, come on, pause the video and tell me they don't look the same. Pause the video. All right, pause the video and guess which ones are which. All right, discard the fans, because I probably should just take them off and you guys want to guess. Because they're identically the same. Identically the same exact case with minor tweaks. But one is tagged for $160, another one is tagged for $70 to $80. The feet are both, look at the feet. Come on, look at those feet. They're both exactly the same. The brushed aluminum, basically the same. But anyways, all right, 465X. All right, so like I said, 3 LLs. Now you could fit a 360 rad over here as well to get that push or pull, but you can't do push and pull because the shroud over here is just, you know, it's not going to be enough space. But get a nice 360 rad over here. And yeah, and you could do push pull, whatever the hell you want. A 360 could go up there. 240 or 280 could go over here. And I took the dust filters here. Just, you know, it is what it is. Same shit here. But yeah, but that's basically it. When I am going to put a system in here, I'm going to show you guys different graphics card lengths and airflow and all that other good stuff. But you see this absolutely ugly circuit board over here? Now this is the hub. All right, and I'm going to get into that when we flip the case, man. I have to go in a rant. But anyways, the same. All right, we have expansion slots. All right, we have a vertical GPU mount. We have an exhaust over here. I believe you could fit a I know you could definitely fit a 120 in here. I got to check if you could fit a 140. Yeah, I believe you can't fit a 140 because this is a 140 over here exhaust. So same exact thing. All right. The only thing we're missing is a hub. Same thing. You can fit a 360 rad, a 280, 240 up top, as I mentioned already. Same thing. You could do push or pull. You can't do both because there's not enough space. If they maybe like cut this over here, you could have done push and pull. But yeah, same exact garments. You have your little garments over here, which I do love. Look, these things are absolutely amazing. Next, same thing. USB, SSD, which I'm going to show you when we flip the case. SSD. So basically, same exact here. The only thing that's missing is we don't have that ugly ass hub to do RGB controls. Again, we're going to go over that. Expansion slots, same. Vertical GPU mount, same. So same exact case. Let's flip it around. Let's check out the back. Let's go. So we got the back of the case exposed. Now on the 275R, I just left it like that because I want to show you guys something pretty quick. Now the back panel over here, the mechanism to basically pull it out, I'll show you. We have screws attached to the side panel for the back attached. Same exact thing here, attached. I just unscrewed a little bit, and then what we do is we pull it out. So same exact, pull it out, voila, bam. All right. Come on. Really? Come on, guys. All right. Look, same exact. All right. SSD hubs over there. SSD shroud. I mean, look. You know, same exact. We could fit up to 4 SSDs. You get 2 SSDs over here. Just basically screw them on. This is a very nice design. You pop it in. This one goes down. This one goes up. You basically pop them in. You straight here. You could basically, same thing. They already have the mounts over here. You just screw it onto the mounts. I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna show you guys that when I built in the case. But yeah, same thing. As we got hard drive trays over here, basically hot swappable. What you do is just take them, pull them, and voila, screw in the hard drive, and you're good to go. Same exact thing over here. Same exact mounts. You can screw them on. You get the hard drives, hot swappables over there. You can put your spinning discs. Or what you could also do essentially, which I'm probably going to do since I don't have any spinning discs, you could unscrew this from the bottom. So if you turn the case on your feet, you see the screws over here, you could unscrew this and just take the whole thing out, and you could have a ton of space for, well, cable management, which is a plus. Now, listen, man, I don't know about you guys, but I just spent $160 on a case, and listen, now you cannot justify this. Look, I don't care, you a big Corsair fanboy, you work for Corsair, you their CEO, I don't care who you is, boy, because this is unacceptable. I do not want to see a circuit board which is naked. This is very lazy, and I'm really ashamed of what they pulled on us. Alright, all I wanted was very simple. You throw in a cover which is plastic, which has a Corsair logo. That's it. It's like, come on, you watch any of my Chinese fan reviews, their hubs are covered. They're not like this. This is, listen, man, this is unacceptable. You could tell me, Kosher, in the comments, you could hide it, you could do this, but look, it's not my job to defend these companies. It's my job to keep it real with you guys. This shit is unacceptable. I already hate this from the get-go. We will definitely try this out and see what it basically is. From what I understand, you could control your RGBs. This is not a PWM function. This is not the Commander Pro. All right, so we are going to put this in effect. I'm going to try to hide it. We're going to see what it do. But look, same exact shit. All right, I just spent $160 for a clone. You know what I'm saying? For a goddamn clone. All right, for the exact same thing. What I'm getting is some LL fans, which I also spent another $100 so I could put the L2LL fans here and one in the exhaust. So I just spent a ton of cash just to make this legit. All right, where you basically could have got this with some, you know, with some airflow from a 3-year-old with a cheap shroud and save yourself all that money. But look, regardless, I'm going to save my rants for the conclusion as I always do. But look, you know, pause the video. Peep it for yourselves, guys. It's the exact same case. We only have minor differences. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to basically build in, I'm going to build my system. In this case, we're going to get my LL fans. We're going to get the AIO, the Corsair AIO, exactly the same. And we're going to rock with it. Also, dust filter we get here in the back too, in the bottom. Same thing in the bottom. You basically just slide it out. You pop it out somehow. There you go. You push it down, right? You push it down, pop it out, slides out. There's your dust filter. Same thing here. Pop it down. If I can move this case. But anyways, there you go. Same thing. All right. Same exact design. Same exact concept. But they just felt like charging us a lot more for their new product, which is not at all innovative. As you can see, everything is wired. Everything is good to go. Now, all right. This is the best way I basically did do it. Now, it's not the most room for wire management on this case. The 275R did also have the same exact problem. Like I said, they're both really identical cases. When you do put the side panel on here, it is a little tough, I gotta admit, especially when we went with 4 SSD drives. Now, I did manage to remove the hard drive bay, basically for 2 reasons. One is I don't use mechanical drives, so I don't use spinning discs, so I don't need it. 2 is the Corsair AX 1200 watt power supply is too long. So when you have the drive bays in there, it's not going to fit because the power supply basically is just too long. So if you have like a 750 watt or 850 watt, it should fit there without any issues, but still it would slightly, you know, have minor issues trying to go in there and just cable route, you know, and whatnot. But to be honest with you, less and less people are using mechanical drives since SSDs are basically just dropping in price every day. So I could imagine just getting some SSDs. But if you are going to put a mechanical drive, it will fit. Just make sure you have a shorter power supply. But as you guys see that the SSDs I have lined up here. Now, I do have a major issue with Corsair on this one. So on your left, the 2 SSDs that I have here on top and bottom, unfortunately, they cannot fit in the front of the case. Yeah, I don't know why, but they cannot fit. They fit on the back of the case. That makes it look absolutely ugly. I'm going to show you guys that in a few once we flip the case over. And of course, we are going to have B-roll. But and it's just very, look at this, it just does not look good. What they should have done is when I reviewed my Chinese case, the Ego Dark Flash DLM22, these SSDs were lined up on the other side, so you could see inside of the tempered glass, which makes the case and the aesthetic look a lot better than having them in the back. It just looks completely idiotic like that. You know, this design, this case was made in 2019, not in 2014 or 2015 when SSDs were put back here. They should have put it in the front, but Corsair really effed this one up. They put it in the back, and of course, as I mentioned before, they gave us a circuit board, and they didn't have the decency to basically cover it. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick look of the wire manage. Yes, maybe I could have done a better job, guys, but this will ultimately be, as I'm going to explain later, this will probably ultimately be my new testing case, especially for the Chinese RGB fans. Now let's just turn it on the other side and let me give you guys a quick look. All right, so everything is installed. Now I just want to show you guys quickly. Now I did basically go with the 3LL fans are in the front, and I have 3LL fans on the top and in the exhaust as well. And I have my H100i Pro AIO, and I have my MSI graphics card there as well. So everything I filled up, everything is possible, everything is much. So if you guys do like this case and want to get it and want to basically get as Corsair out it as much as possible, this is essentially how it would look. But anyways, what I was trying to say is, you see the screws here in the front. This is basically where the SSD should have gone, right here, since the cutouts are already made for it. Now, again, I'm using the DLM22 case as an example because I reviewed it. You guys should definitely check it out. In that case, like I said, they were in the front, and these cutouts were wide enough to put in the SATA connectors for power and for data through here, and then on the other side you basically connect them. That's the right way. I don't understand why they did it like this. So basically what I see here are my screws and these cutouts. Like that's not, it's a $160 case, guys. It's a $160 case. That's a no-go. Now you could tell me, listen, Kosher, you could just staple it on, you could double-side it and you could put it on. But listen, I paid $160. I didn't pay $70. I didn't pay $60. I didn't pay $50. I paid $160. All right, $158 to be exact, but still, $160. But anyways, as I mentioned earlier, if you have the 275R, if you have the 275R Airflow Edition, this looks absolutely identical. But anyways, without further ado, let's roll some B-roll. Let's go. All right, guys, before we get into the B-roll, I just want to show you different graphics card lengths that basically will go in this case. So I got 4 cards over here. So this is the MSI 1660 Ti. This is the Red Devil 590. This is the 1060, and this is the 1060 Strix Edition. Now this is a 9.5-inch card, as well as 9.5. This is a little fatter. This is 10.5 inches, and this is a foot long. This is 12 inches. So we already saw the 1060, the 1660 Ti already, the MSI 1660 Ti at first. So now I'm gonna fit the Red Devil in here, and we're gonna fit all these cards to basically see how they look in this case. All right, so we have the Red Devil card in there. That honestly looks like a perfect fit right here. There's like, I don't know, I don't see any sag. You guys let me know if you see. Maybe there's slight sag, but it's really not noticeable. This is a fat card though, but it's a really nice fit. Check it out. Very nice fit, perfect fit, I would say. All right, let's move into the 1060. All right, so the 1060 is inside the case. Now, as you guys see that it's a lot longer. It's basically covering all the SATA ports and the grommet over there too. It's a big cover. Now it's a bit longer, as I mentioned, and again, I don't see any sag, but yeah, it's a bit long with this cooler. Alright, so last card. Now this is the 1060 Strix Edition. Now this is a fat card. You guys can see it right here. Now this thing is, listen, it's a foot long over here. It's covering everything. Absolutely everything. Now if you did have a 360 mil rad in the front, it would most likely stick out like right here. So this is where the fans would be. So it's not going to be touching the card. You could definitely fit. There's enough space. I'm just giving you guys a quick look. This thing It does have slight sag, I would say, but not really that noticeable. But yeah, this is a big boy. So yeah, foot long will fit here. This is a mid-tire case, it would fit here without any issues. But now let's get that B-roll. Let's go. Alright guys, I hope in that B-roll you guys actually did notice the difference that I removed the dust filter. Now I just want to give you guys a quick look. Now if you haven't noticed, this is the time I'm going to give you guys a quick look. So as you see that I do have the dust filter there installed in the case. Now just guys, I am so not feeling this whatsoever. You have these pointless X's, these, I don't know why Corsair went with this kind of design, but anyways, in a few minutes right now, in a second, I'm going to take this out and I'm going to show you without the dust filter. And I want you guys to let me know in the comments below, is it me or without the dust filter? It looks absolutely fire. Alright guys, so the dust filter is removed and just, I mean, come on. Do I really have to say it looks absolutely fire? Alright, so I got the dust filter right there. Yo, it's absolutely lit. She looked naked and she looked nice. I mean, come on, man. Let me know in the comments, guys. Is it just kosher, man? Or what? And listen. I know all the haters are going to say, listen, you need the dust filter. It's going to make the case look. It's going to get dirty. Well, you see that microfiber cleaning cloth I got over there? Wipe your case, dude. Wipe it. This is tempered glass. It's 2 seconds. You can wipe the front. All right? You unscrew it and you wipe the back and voila. It's clean. But come on. Look at the difference, guys. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful, man. It's like night and day. Just removing that pointless dust filter with a bunch of X's. Look at this. They should have just made a plain dust filter. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, guys. Come on, Corsair. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, you guys. So, I got 2 heavy hitters out here. So, right, on your right-hand side, we have the 500D RGB. On the left we have the 570X, and of course in the middle we have the ICUE 465X. So why I brought the big boys out, just to show you guys 2 things. I want to show you guys innovation of those 2 cases as well as the tempered glass design. Now also the size difference. You guys could see how higher the other 2, the 570 and the 500, are to the little guy, the ICUE 465X. As well, I also did take off the dust filter for the 500D, just, you know, for the sake, they just look so much nicer when they're naked. Like I said, you could easily clean it. Again, it's very subjective. But to the design of the tempered glass as they did in the 500D, they essentially made this non-removable, all right, and the dust filter is essentially inside, and you open this and you just pop it out. You open the door and you pop it out. It's 2 seconds, right? There's no other piece here. And this, they have these little plastic things here, essentially. I'm not sure if they're to hold the glass, but they have them there. Now, if they would have just gone away with it and have the tempered glass essentially screw on to this bracket, right, and to that bracket in the bottom, it would have been a lot more aesthetically pleasing, a lot more cleaner, instead of having these grooves over here. Now on the 570, unfortunately the dust filter is already built in order for you to screw on the glass, you need to screw it onto the dust filter. So that's a bit, you know, it's whack, but it is what it is on that sense. But overall, to the innovation, if I'm not mistaken, this was the first case that was all tempered glass that Corsair pushed. And to be honest with you, it still to this day looks absolutely gorgeous. And especially when it came out, it was beautiful. And to this day, it's still an amazing case. And I think you can get it right now for $170, under $200. Now, for the 500D RGB, now there's a non-RGB version, but the RGB version gives you the tempered glass as well as 3LL fans, as well as a Commander Pro. Now, when the case came out, it was $300. It was a bit too much. However, the design of the case made sense. It does not feel cheap. It does not feel flimsy. It's a different case. They didn't have another case to it. The 500D case was the first of its kind. It's the Obsidian series, right? Now, to the point that I'm trying to make is the 465 is the exact identical replica to the 275R case. That's what I mean. That's why I brought the heavy hitters out, as I call them, just to give you guys a representation of what is innovation. You know, just because you slap a tempered glass in the front, give us 3LL fans and a Node core, which even doesn't have a cover, and you expect us to pay a premium of $160, that's not innovation. That's just called being lazy and greedy. All right, this is something I want to show you guys. And I mean, come on, at least give us a side panel there, you know, that's tempered glass as well. You know, we are paying $160, guys. You know, I'm reviewing a case that's $160. This is not a $70, $80 case, guys. This is $160. But I felt like just sharing this with you guys. You know, if you are interested on the 500D RGB, I did not have a chance to review this case, but it's still, till this day, it's most definitely still my favorite case. I just never had a chance to review it. But just to give you guys a quick glimpse, it looks absolutely gorgeous. All right, guys. Listen, if you made it this far, a big salute to you. I appreciate it. All right, so listen. See this paper? All right, not in every video, Kosher whips out some paper and a pen. All right, you did a lot of homework on this one. All right, so look, let's run it like this. All right, so I ran the test at 1500 RPM. I'm gonna go into exactly what I put in. So I had 6 LL fans, and of course we're gonna get into the cost of everything as well. We had an AIO, of course we used the H100i Pro AIO. So for idle, I was getting around 35 Celsius. Now I am using, the test bench is gonna be linked in the description below. All the way in the bottom, you guys are gonna basically see it. It's a 2700X processor, Ryzen 7. So we're getting at 35 at idle, and max load I was getting at 65. Now I did all the testing via a Data 64 stress test. All right, now let's talk about airflow. The airflow was pretty good for a tempered glass case. Probably, honestly, maybe the best for a tempered glass case, at least for the cases which I've tested. Now the gap in the front where you see the glass, there's like an inch, maybe I would say an inch off, so that's good for the airflow movement. Now the test was done with 6 fans. I didn't, use 3, so I used that 6 fans basically to illustrate the entire course of the case as well. So that this test was basically done with 6 fans, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, the gap really did help with the airflow. Now if the gap was a little closer, the airflow would be a bit different, and there's going to be some restrictions. Now, as well, since we're in the topic of the glass, also want to talk about the dust filter. Listen, you guys saw how it looked. It's night and day. It's night and day. Now listen, don't let no one tell you that, oh, there's going to be dust particles, going to be blah, blah, blah. Take a microfiber cleaning rag, as I showed you guys, and clean your bleeping case. Just clean the front, just dust the front inside and outside. Hey, do it every week. If you have your case on top of your desk, it's not going to get as dusty. If you have that case on your floor, on carpet, maybe you shouldn't just buy the case, all right? Keep that bad boy up looking pretty. Now, if you do have it in the bottom, just wipe it, guys. Maybe, if it's up top, maybe you do it once a week. If it's down on the floor, maybe do it, once, maybe do a little more often. Maybe do it once every 3 days or 4 days or whatnot. But, you know your room better. You know if you're a clean freak or not. So I'm not going to get into that and waste you guys' time. But, yeah. Without the dust filter, I mean, it looks absolutely gorgeous. If they would have just gave us a plain dust filter, it would have been nice. I don't need no X's. I don't need no designs. Don't stick fancy. What ain't broke, don't fix it. All right, keep it pushing. Next, let's talk about the major thing why I'm basically, amped up and just a little pissed off with Corsair right now, the cost. All right, the cost of the case. Now let's talk about what I put in. So as I mentioned, I bought 3 additional LL fans. We do get 3 LL fans that come with the case. So I bought 3 additional LL fans. That's $100, right? The cost of the case itself is $158 in white. If you're gonna get it in black, it's $154. Here or there. This is not including any, any discounts you could get, any promotions, and all that stuff. This is just regular. When the case came out, this is the cost of the case, $158. Now you probably get a lot cheaper, depending on when you watch the video. This video was recorded, so this is the prices that I'm giving you now. So it's $158 in white, $154 in black, $4 apart. LL fans, if you want 3 more LL fans, it's gonna run you $100. The AIO, whatever, let's keep it Corsair. I just threw the AIO in here. If you want the AIO, it's gonna run you $120. And then the last thing is, I did use RGB light strips. I went with the Corsair RGB light strips with the Node Pro, so that's additional $60. So Kosher, what's the total? I got you. It's $438. $438 basically for a case with some fans, with an AIO, and some LED strips. Now, listen, the Corsair LED strips are a must-have. You guys saw how crispy it looks. It pops. It makes the case absolutely pop. Moving on. So as I mentioned throughout the video, guys, throughout this long video, this is basically the 275R with a tempered front glass case. With a tempered front, oh my God, I'm so amped up, I can't even speak right now. With a tempered front glass, as well as just basically, you throw in the 3 LL fans and the Node Core, which I'm gonna go, I'm gonna discuss that in a minute, but basically it's the same exact case, the same exact thing as a 275R, guys. So if you like the design, might as well just get the 275R. To be honest, you don't even waste your time and money on this case. All right, moving on. Now, this is very, very important. I ran into this issue. If you're using the Node Pro RGB light strips, as well as if you're using the Node Core, right? So if you're using the LL fans for the RGBs and you wanted the RGB light strips as well, you would need on your mobile, you would need 2 USB ports, all right? 2 type 2 USB ports to plug them both in so you could use the ICUE software. So on my end, what I basically did is I didn't have 2. All right, I just had 1 USB port, and the other USB port was basically somewhere in the center of the motherboard. I didn't want to plug it in because it would just look ugly, because there would have been an entire, wire running through the middle of the motherboard. So I said, screw that. So the wire that I put in was for the RGB light strips. So I put the RGB light strips, and I basically had the LL fans in rainbow mode because, again, make sure the Mobo has two USB ports so you could plug in both of them so you could synchronize them with the ICUE software. Now, I wish they would have maybe thrown in a USB port on the Node Core so people like this wouldn't run into a situation. Just keep that in mind, guys. That's very, very important. I didn't think that that would actually occur. All right, let's talk about the F-ups. All right, one major F-up that I ran into is the SSD mount. Again, if you guys didn't watch the DLM, the Dark Flash DLM 22 video of that case, I'll throw a card. Make sure you guys do, because their SSD mounting was on point. When I first saw the case, I figured I could mount the SSDs in the front. Unfortunately, you cannot. They would have to go in the back. I don't know what the F they were thinking of doing that. The whole purpose, I want my SSDs in the front because I want my case looking nice. All right, it's a showpiece. Listen, you get a tempered glass case, it's a showpiece. No matter how you put it, it's a showpiece. But anyways, they completely effed me, and they completely effed it up, period, because as you guys saw, I put them in the back, and it just put so much clutter, and I just hated it. I absolutely hated it. They have the cutouts. I don't know what they were thinking of putting it in the back. And listen, I'm not going to use double-sided tape. Enough of this double-sided tape business, all right? I put this on Twitter. Everyone's telling me double-sided. I spent $160. I'm not going to put double-sided tape in the front of the case, inside the case, I mean. All right? I want to put the SSDs inside of the case where the Mobo and everything is. I don't need them in the back where the wires up. So that SSD mounting, they completely dropped a major ball on that. Next, the cable management. As you guys saw, especially with all the cables that I had. Now, I went a little overboard in my setup just to, you know, I'm trying to fill up the case. Since I'm reviewing the case, I'm trying to pack it as much to find issues. And the SSD mountings, I did find an issue on that, because if I never mounted those two additional SSDs, this issue would have never arose. But anyways, cable management. It was a little cluttered, I gotta say. It was a little too much. I was trying to organize it, but the panel to close the case, it's a little too flat. It's a little difficult. I did manage to close it, but it's tight. Make sure you manage the cables right. Make sure you make it nice and tight. Don't do what Kosher did. I try to make it as tight as possible, but unfortunately, it didn't work out so much for me. Next, the power supply. As I mentioned, guys, I was using the 1200 watt, the Corsair AX 1200 watt power supply. It's a very long power supply. Make sure, you know, if you're trying to use some spinning discs, if you're trying to use some hard drives, you won't have enough space. So if you're using a 750 watt, if you're using something smaller, it would basically fit there with no issue. Next, moving on to the Node Core. Yeah, where do I begin? Okay, I absolutely hate the Node Core. What Corsair is basically doing is they're trying to make everything proprietary, so people are just gonna buy their stuff and just constantly use their stuff. Very proprietary. I am not a fan of that Node Core whatsoever. As well as give us maybe a shield, maybe a cover with your logo on it. No, just, you know, hey, I got a circuit board, dude. Let's just throw it on. F these consumers, they'll buy it anyways. No, I don't roll that way. I want a cover or something, you know, something that covers it up, looks nice. But anyways, the Node Core is just for the RGB and it's not for PWM function. I absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate it. And I'm not a fan. I wish they would have just not cheaped out and gave us a PWM. Give us PWM as well as RGB. Don't just give us RGB and then, hey, you know, if you want PWM, buy the Commander Pro. You know, they're just like really trying to corner the market on that and just trying to get us all very proprietary, which I'm not a fan of whatsoever. Next, if you don't want no LL fans, if you don't want that, get some Chinese fans. I've done a bunch of videos on Chinese fans. I'll throw cards up there, guys. Get some Chinese fans. It will look as nice. You're not gonna have to spend so much money with all this proprietary stuff. Get the Node Pro, get the Node Commander Pro, get the RGB light strip. But the RGB light strips, the RGB light strips, I gotta admit, Corsair, they are pretty fire. You know, try to get that. But them Chinese fans are gonna cost you $40 to $60. You'll be, guys, good to go. Lastly, I'm gonna finish on this, guys. The price. All right. Let me tell you what. Let's go over the price as quick as possible. Let's put it this way. Am I keeping this case? Yes. All right. You might be saying, Kosher, what? Keeping the case for all the ranting on this, that, keeping the case? Yes. And I'll tell you why I'm keeping the case. All right. Tell you why. Okay. Not only as much as I'm a consumer, I'm also a reviewer. Okay. So what does that basically mean is when I do my Chinese RGB fan reviews, this case will perfectly fit my lifestyle and the reviewers, well, my review style, because it has tempered glass in the front. So when I'm demoing the fans to you guys, these Chinese fans, you guys are gonna have the best perspective to see how the rings, the LED rings look. So in that case, yes, I'm keeping it only because it's a showpiece. All right, it's a really nice case in the sense for the glass. But overall, it's basically exactly as the 275R. If the 275R had a tempered glass front, I would have gone with the 275R. It would have been, I don't need your LL fans. I don't need your Node Core. I'll get some Chinese fans and voila, we're good to go. But yeah, anyways, the price. The price is at $158, rounded up to $160. Is just way too high. I don't know what they were basically thinking of making a case with their LL fans. I get what they're trying to say. The fans will offset the cost of the case for them, but for us, it's honestly not worth it. If you want it as a showpiece, if you have money, go for it. But if you're in a budget, this is definitely not the case for you, especially definitely not the price. If you want to get some Chinese fans, definitely don't buy this case because you're already going to get 3 LL fans. So automatically, as a customer, as a consumer, you're going to want to fill up your case with more LL fans, and it becomes very addictive because then you're going to want a Corsair AIO, and then you're going to want Corsair Node Pro RGB LED light strips, as I did. I just went out full out just to show you guys, and then you'll be spending $438. Now, if you get some sales, like I said, this is all before discounts and sales and all of that. It's $438. Yeah, if you get some sales, you probably save like 40 to 80 bucks, maybe less than, yeah, no, like 80 bucks. But still, it's still going to be a lot of money. I honestly think the price is way too high. But at the end of the day, it's your money. Use it how you want to. Listen, it was a long video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it was informative. Leave your comments below. Let me know. As always, guys, I'm KosherTech. Let me catch you guys next time. Deuces.